be your fans. You are welcome to Puto TV. Ebola Puto Bamban TV. I should play telephone kaya wa be nation. Puto si abodi Puto this interview Mr. Gonton, the NATO chairman to acting Prime Minister, His Excellency Ogechukwuka, and our able acting Prime Minister now see the Biafran's mind. Ogologo, okay, just cool down. Then one interview. Elegia, make a children person. Babon calling you. Biafra to the world. Your good morning. Wherever you are joining us, make sure you share this program. It's very, very important. We have just 30 minutes because we have a sense to somewhere. Thank you as you listen. God bless you.
Mr. Gunter, and thanks for what you're doing for humanity, especially for Biafra. My name is Mazi Ogechukwu.
Also, now, our acting Prime Minister is getting to the world.
Prime Minister, I'm happy you join our show, and please, can you present us to the European and international audience the case of the Biafra Republic, and first of all yourself, your position, and your call for freedom, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gunter, and thanks for what you're doing for humanity, especially for Biafra. My name is Mazi Ogechukwu Nkere. I'm the current acting Prime Minister of Biafra Republic government in exile. I'm a freedom fighter, advocating for the freedom of my people, Biafran Christians from Nigeria, because they have been persecuted. They have been for decades now. They have been marginalized, butchered by this Islamic jihadist terrorists that collude with the Nigerian terrorist state. Why we call them terrorist state? Because they colluded with the terrorists and they arm the terrorists. So my goal is to fight to free the people of Biafra. The people of Biafra deserve to live. The people of Biafra have the right to live in their God-given land. And what happened in 1967 to 1970, we don't want that to happen again. So that's the reason why I have chosen this cause to fight for the people of Biafra and for the freedom of Biafra and for humanity. Thank you, Mr. Gunter. Thank you very much.
Mr. Prime Minister, thanks a lot. Tell us a little bit about 67, because I have already started on my tweets to apologize for the genocide and the lack of international support for the Biafran people. But what exactly happened in 50 years ago during the genocide against your people, and what were the positions of the world, and describe it a little bit for our international audience?
Thank you very much. Before the genocidal war that started 1967 to 1970, there have been onslaught, killing of Biafran Christians. And the Islamic jihadis, they have their father, Osman Fodio, in 1806. He made it clear that their goal is to Islamize the Biafran people, is to kill the Biafran people and take their land from them. Their goal is to change the Biafran people from the God they worship, Jehovah, they are Christians, to Islam. After the amalgamation, why the Biafran people, they come in good faith because they can coexist. It don't matter your religion, we are good people. And, we try to coexist, to work with the North, not knowing they have an agenda. And the agenda is to overrun us, is to Islamize us, is to terrorize us and take over our land and turn us to Islam, which we are not, compatible, but we try the best we can. So little do we know, they start waging war right after the 1914 amalgamation. Gradually, at first, they act like everything is okay, like we can coexist. So there's too much killing in the northern part of the East Nigeria, just like what is happening today. All over the news, we find out that the leader of the free world, President J. Trump from United States of America, have designated Nigeria a country of particular concern. Exactly what is happening today is what is happening before 1967. Killing of Biafran Christians in the north, killing of Biafran Christians all over Nigeria. Then that's the reason why our leader then, Ojukwu, now declared Biafra. And before then, he tried to see if there's anyhow we can solve this problem and have a regional government, which the East will govern, have their own region, govern themselves under the same federation. Why the North and the Southwest, the Southeast? And after a meeting in Ghana, in Aburi Accord, then when our leader then, Ojukwu, get back to Biafra land, a call came across to Gowon, which, championed the cause of Nigeria then, that he disagreed with the agreement at Aburi Accord. The agreement at Aburi
Mr. Prime
Accord.
Minister, not to be too complicated, because many of the international audience, they don't know the case of Biafra so well. So I would like to explain. It goes back to the British imperialism and the way the British have built one country, this Nigeria, together. They forced all the nations to live together. And from the beginning, the Christians from Biafra, they were suppressed and always a minority, which was under the sword of the other centralist government. And so they were suppressed from the beginning. And then in 1967, Biafra declared independence. And then there was this big starvation campaign and the boycott of Biafra, which led to a genocide, and millions of Biafran had to die. And I'm apologizing for the neglect of the West, and we didn't help you. I'm very deeply sorry for that. And then you had to live again in the Nigerian state. And today again, your nation, the Christians, are facing persecution in Nigeria. And President Trump has now somehow torn the international attention on the issue of the Christians in Biafra. You are now the acting prime minister. Tell me what you want to achieve.
Our goal and what we want to achieve is to exit Nigeria, of which we went to Finland 2024, Latin Finland. We redeclare Biafra over 50 million Biafra cast their vote to exit Nigeria because we found out we are not compatible. We try everything to make it work. Biafrans are Christians.
You have declared already independence.
Yes, we declared Biafra in December 2nd in Lahti, Finland.
And there was 15 million people declaring for Biafra.
Over 50 million voted. And we have delegates all over the world that convey in Finland, of which 517 delegates. 517 delegates cast their vote to solidify the count and to ratify the vote of over 50 million to exit Nigeria. So our goal is to have our separate nation, Biafra.
I fully support Biafra Republic and freedom and ex-Nigeria, but there are representatives from Nigeria going to American media, like for example Tucker Carlson, and then they say there is no genocide in Nigeria. The Christians are just living fine in Nigeria. And then there are reports where every day 8 Christians are killed in Nigeria. Mr. Prime Minister, what's the truth? Are you the victim of a genocide or not?
The truth is that it's all over the media, and we have some investigators that have been on ground in that Nigeria. There is a genocide, and there is a war going in Biafra land as I'm speaking. The Nigerian state have waged war upon the Biafrans to make sure they crush the Biafran people because we resist that we must be free. Tucker Carlson, I do watch him a lot, I respect him, but I don't believe he have been in that region. So the fact is that there is a genocide. So for years they're trying to, sweep it under the rug. The fact is there is a genocide and it's still ongoing. It haven't stopped yet. That is the fact.
So, Mr. Prime Minister, when some of them say that there is no genocide, you reject it. It's clearly that the Christians are prosecuted in Nigeria and that you are a victim of a state-sponsored campaign against Biafra and against the Christians in Nigeria.
That is actually correct.
Very good. Mr. Prime Minister, so you want to have independence and lead your nation towards freedom. What's your plan of action in terms of convincing the international community that your country is a working country, that your country will be successful, and that you are ready to be a full part of the international community? And what kind of country you want to lead? Will you join the West or will you align with Russia or China?
Biafran people are pro-Western. Biafran people are Christian. And the word meaning of Boko Haram is that they reject the Western education. We align ourselves with the West, especially United States of America, the leader of the free world. Just a few days ago, an article came out from the Russia Republic saying that they are monitoring what is unfolding in Nigeria because of what President Trump, because of the destination, I guess, Nigeria. Where is Russia since over the decade? Why haven't they condemned or stepped in to save the Christians of Biafra or even the Christians of Nigeria? So United States of America, we respect their leadership and we align ourselves with NATO and we are pro-West. So wherever America goes, that's where we go. We respect the leadership of the America as the leader of the free world. Thank you very much.
So what do you think about the European Union? Because the European Union is spending 75 million for Nigeria every year. The European Union is the main trading partner of the Nigeria. And also the European Union assists and gives trade access to Nigeria very often, despite the fact that Nigeria is the country where most Christians are prosecuted, where genocide is happening. What's your wish for the European authority that they change their policy towards Nigeria? And do you think funding frees the tradition and be very hard on the
they work with a country that's not going to be a threat to the West, because we Biafrans will not be a threat to the West. And if they support the Nigerian state that have aligned with BRICS, and if the Islamic terrorists capture Nigeria, Europe will be in trouble too. So they try to make Nigeria their safe haven. They should desist from supporting terrorism and from supporting Nigeria and from not letting what happened in 1967 to 1970 happen again. So it's better they align with the Biafran people, who will be the best partner on earth. Thank you.
So if the European Union continues to fund the Nigerian government, yeah, and they will be complicit in the genocide against Christians.
Correct. That means they support terrorism as well. And we urge them to practice what they preach.
Nigeria has a political prisoner, the very famous independence leader of Biafra, Mr. Mazi. Can you explain the case of Mr. Mazi and that he must be released and that Europe must support the release of Mazi?
After this genocidal war, we have a leader